And now we're gonna do something everybody like to do. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yo, this is Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5.
This is Mark Ray.
This is Craig Charles.
And you are now tuned into Joints and Jams
With Shaka Loves You.
with Shaka Loves You.
With Shaka Loves You on Soho Radio. Listen on the slide.
You gotta have tiny legs.
Nah, longer fingers, I think. Yeah.
I can ruin any party, mate.
Just say no.
And good luck on y'all show, man, for real.
So we're on the phone with legendary DJ and producer, DJ Newmark. How's it going, man?
It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Thanks for taking some time out. You're probably busy schedule, no doubt. Are you at home at the moment? Are you in it? It's LA, right?
Yeah, I'm back in LA at the moment.
Nice. Any trips away soon, or you got some downtime now?
You know, I've been doing this thing where I spend a lot of time in the studio creating the projects for the year. Then I do kind of the weekend warrior thing. So
Yeah.
better. I really enjoy being in the studio, so it's a better balance for me at this age, I guess. But no, I still play a lot, and I'll be at Red Bull 3Style this year in Russia, and judging the finals with Jazzy Jeff and DJing, of course. But I guess I kind of choose the gigs that I like now and put out projects, or I'm at a point now where I'm like, okay, these are the bucket list projects that I have to do.
Yeah. So I think last time we chatted to you when we were trying to line up this interview, you were just about to head off to the Middle East for a digging trip. Is it the Middle East, right?
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of an interesting scenario because I was supposed to play Beirut and a few other surrounding countries, and then head over to Dubai at the end. But about probably right after I talked to you guys, about a week or two before the Beirut trip, their entire economy collapsed.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was on vacation when my booking agent told me about it. My brain wasn't screwed on completely. Let's just say I was drinking quite a bit on a beach.
Yeah.
I get one time a year to really unwind, and when I do, I take my pleasure seriously when I do it. So, I was like reading this long email, and they're like, "Yeah, people can't get money out of the banks, and they can't get money out of the cash machines, and their dollars being sold on the black market for 4 times less its original value." And I'm like reading it, and I'm like, easily like 5 drinks in on the.
It's not the kind of email you want.
Yeah, because I was supposed to leave from Tulum, Mexico, almost straight there. I had a bag of all Middle Eastern funk. 7 inches ready to go because they wanted me to do a vinyl set. So I had already pre-planned it before I went on vacation. Half my brain was like, oh man, this is terrible. And the other half is like, well, I guess I don't have to risk
another beer, please. Yeah, totally.
So
you should record that set that you were going to do.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gutted I couldn't do it, man, because my buddy Ernesto, anybody listening to this should really follow Ernesto on Instagram. He collects really heavy Ethiopian 7 inches, which a lot of people know is probably the most expensive genre to dig in.
Right.
And you can almost never find it in mint condition because it's just been through hell and back. Such beautiful music, and probably one of my favorite genres at this point.
So last time we actually saw you, we caught your set at Shindig Festival. We were playing there last summer, and you were I think you did the Sunday night. Did you do the Sunday at Shindig?
Oh, Shindig, yes. Okay,
yeah.
I won't remember what night. I could barely remember the names of festivals.
Yeah. They all kind of blur into one, don't they, after a while?
Yeah, they do, especially festivals. I don't know why. Man, the crowd's energy is insane, man.
Yeah.
I love shows like that where I can actually sort of command the ship and sort of speak. I can just...
Yeah.
I kind of know in the first 10 minutes of a set when I'm DJing, how far I can stretch the crowd,
Yeah.
Some crowds want a light workout, the other crowds want a full yoga experience with me, so
totally. It's always a good vibe at Shindig. They always
I love it, man.
They always get a really the people are there for the right reasons at Shindig. They're there pretty much for the music. There's no posers. There's not that kind of vibe at all. So it's always when you play there, you can normally go places you wouldn't be able to go.
I mean, those guys started out as a label, right? And then pushed nights from that, and then that became this festival, and they're now into that. We're going back again this summer, so it's like year 6, right?
Year 6 now.
So it's got a good following, man. It's always and the good one for us. It's like the first festival of the summer, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, super early on, so it always sets the bar like really high for the rest of the season. But yeah, it's a good one. I wanted to take it back a little bit. You started playing drums back in school, right? Before you started DJing or anything, right?
Yeah, well, I got like a drum, like a snare, like at 7 or 8, and my parents thought, oh, that's just a fad. So by the time, I guess when I was 12 or 13, I entered like the jazz band at school.
Okay.
And started playing there, and I had my first drum battle, actually, where I had a battle. I was always like the smallest kid in my class, like the shortest guy. I looked like Kermit the Frog, and he was like, you couldn't like even see my head over the tom toms. It was funny, and like he was like towering over his drum set. He was like this huge kid, so it was like the audience was half laughing hysterically, my parents included, and then half like cheering. But that was my first experience with battling and like taking it seriously. And I would listen to like old Rush.
R.I.P. Neil.
Drum solos, rest in peace, Neil Peart, one of the greatest to ever do it. And so I would listen to those. I'm like, oh, I want to do something like this. And then as that was progressing, I kind of got into listening to hip hop and trying to figure out what were those big sounds like, because I didn't know what a drum machine was.
Sure, yeah.
That was that progression into hip hop, but I hadn't even seen a turntable up until this point, or touched a turntable, I should say.
So it was kind of getting into hip hop that then kind of evolved into DJing for you then.
Yeah, I would sneak a little Roland drum machine into my into the band practices, and so when the conductor would be working on like a string section or on the horns or something, I would have my headphones on, and I'd be trying to figure out like the drum patterns I would hear from a hip hop record. Then I heard like scratching, and then my best friend in that same band class told me his uncle was a DJ, and I watched him DJ, and I almost passed out. I was like, everything was so brand new back then. MCing was new. I was just used to hearing singers. Beats were new. I was used to hearing drum beats instead of program beats. People were on the floor getting their clothes dirty when dancing was typically standing up and dancing with everything was just raw and just new.
And have you found that having that drumming, because we've both got drumming backgrounds as well, and played drums and percussion and stuff. Have you found that's helped? Throughout your career when especially when you're producing as well? Is that have you noticed?
Yeah, I think it's in my like. It's like the backbone of my production, to tell you the truth. I take my drum, programming seriously, and my drum sounds I take very seriously. And for the first time ever, I'll be doing drum packs this year. So yay!
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, this year is kind of dedicated to like bucket list things that I should have done.
yeah, totally. Like sample packs, you mean?
Yeah, drum sample packs. I literally, honestly, guys, I haven't made a beat in like 3 months.
Okay.
Except for this week. This week I've been hammering away, but up until this week, I spent the last 3 months just dedicating my time to creating drum sounds for other people to have. None of the sounds that I'm going to be creating were ever used on anything else. All new stuff just for the users, and it's like, I don't know, 1,700 sounds or something like that.
Where can people get that? Is it out yet or not yet?
It's not out yet, but I'll be doing a deal with both Drum Broker and Ableton Live.
Okay, wow.
Hopefully around February, by the way. February 14th is our slated date.
So I want to touch on Jurassic 5 obviously in a little minute. Before you were in J5, you worked for a record label. Is that right?
Yeah, I was working at a record label called Correct Records on the West Coast.
And I heard a story, and you might need to correct me on some of the facts on this, but you were involved in signing a record that was Kanye's first album as a producer?
Yeah, so it was a very small label, and they needed me to do like college promotion and helping out with the artist, sometimes even DJing on the records, and even A&Ring. And so I was like, well, I don't really want to be an A&R, but I'll help out. And I had a pretty good ear at the time as to what I thought was going to be the next trend. I was better then than I am now, put it that way. I should be better now.
Totally.
I'm trying, man, but when Weird Al Yankovic does a song and you don't know what the hell he's covering, you know you're getting old.
Yeah. Totally.
No, I'm still young at heart. I still keep current. I'm just busting my own balls. So I found an artist named Grav. I got his demo. He was out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Spelled Grav, like gravity. It was short for gravity.
Okay, yeah.
And he played me a demo, and all the songs were dope, but there was, I think, 1 or 2 songs I was like, who produced this? And he said, oh, it's this kid named Kanye. I said, well, you know, if you finish the rest of the record with him, we'll fund it. And so I flew out to New York and we recorded. I was recording with Kanye. That was his first, because I had to oversee the project, make sure they turned it in, make sure the mix down sounded right. I even did scratches on that record. That was Kanye's first production on a release.
What year was that?
96.
Have you had any contact with Kanye over the years, or?
That's always the second question people ask me. It's so funny. He's still the same person. Like he like people think he's changed. Like he's still like a very like confident. He was confident back then. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
You know, really like I know my shit's the best. You know. Yeah. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, what is he talking about? You know. But I saw him at a J5 show. And he actually walked up to me and was like, hey, what's up? I was like, oh, shit. What's up, man? But in that studio session, it's kind of funny. I didn't know he was a visual artist as well. Right. And so while we were killing time, the engineer was doing something where they had to like recall a mix, and we had to wait for like, you know, I don't know, an hour, 20 minutes. So I don't know what the hell it was. And he goes, just sit there. He told me just sit there. And I was sitting next to him by the console, and he drew my face to perfection. Like he drew my face with just with just a pencil. No way. The sketch is really accurate. Yeah, I should probably frame that at some point.
You still got it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. At any rate, he's a multi-talented young man.
He certainly is. So let's get on to kind of talking a bit about J5. Now we know Charlie pretty well. We did a track with Soup, or Fully Love as he is now.
Yeah. Soup was just at my studio like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no way. He's a nice dude, man. We've had some chat back and forth, and we actually met him. He was playing at Shindig. I think you probably just missed him because I think he did like the Friday night.
Yeah, I was texting him, or maybe I was on IG trying to get a hold of him, and I thought I was going to see him, but he played a separate day. Yeah.
And I think was Charlie not there? Was it like all three of you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Charlie was there too. He played earlier in the day, and then I played later on in the night. God, that was such a fun stage.
It's good.
I want to do it again.
Yeah. You all were living in LA at the time. That's how you all met, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you involved in that Good Life scene? Because obviously Charlie kind of came up through that.
Not really. So I went there about 4 times total, but that's where the 2 groups met. So J5 was 2 groups formed as one plus me, you know. So but I really kind of got immersed in the group at another event called Rat Race, where they had a live band on stage, and the band would invite MCs to come up and do their routine. So I was the DJ for that night, and so I met the 2 groups pretty much there, or at the rehearsal studios for there. It was Unity Committee and Rebels of Rhythm were the 2 groups, and then we just started to gel, and it just kind of all made sense. You know, it's funny how sometimes you can shop your own demos to record labels by yourself or whatever, but if you get like the right people in the room, the chemistry just clicks. It's an interesting thing.
For sure. You mentioned Red Bull 3Style earlier on, right at the start. You're back judging this year?
Yeah, I'll be in Russia in what is that? April, I believe it is.
Are you excited for this year's finals?
There's 2 things I look forward to every year, and they both have to do with Jazzy Jeff. It's
man, everyone loves Jeff.
The guy is a legend, man. We were lucky enough to support him like a couple of years ago, and like honestly, just one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like I've spent like months trying to figure out how I repay Jeff, just because he's given so much, not only to me, but like the culture, producer, man. DJ, culture, fans, everybody. Like he's given so much. He's a really remarkable human being outside of his incredible skill as a DJ. He's changed my life in the last, I don't know how long I've been working with him at Red Bull, 4 or 5 years, I guess. Yeah. But he's changed my life, and he's changed my perspective on everything, to if I need a manager, to what happens if a DJ plays the big song you wanted to play and you're about to go on, you know? Like heavy conversation. I mean, I guess that's not heavy. It's just conversations that pertain to my first world problems.
Yeah, totally. First world DJ problems.
They mean a lot to me, you know. They mean a lot to me because I want to give the people who pay a hardworking dollar to see me a good show. I want to give them a Newmark experience that is unlike any other DJ. So the only way for me to do that is to constantly humble myself and say, I'll never be a master of this, but I'm going to talk to people who've done it longer than I have, or talk to people that are in a better position that I am in. And realize that I'll always be learning, you know, and that perspective has helped me a lot. But he's just, but I guess to answer your original question, man, the two things I look forward to are Red Bull 3Style and the playlist retreat. And
that was the next thing we were going to chat about.
He's monopolized my fun.
Yeah, totally. But the playlist retreat looks, I mean, obviously, from the outside, it looks like it's a pretty, just amazing kind of experience, and everyone's just sharing all their, because there's so many amazing producers and DJs and talent in one place. That
when we met Maceo in the summer, we were supporting Dela. And we were chatting to Maceo backstage, and was he literally
he was
just
flying
about to fly
literally
out
the
to
next
go
day.
to,
He was flying out to Jeff's place.
Yeah, Mace had an amazing time.
I think it was his first one this year. He was like, he'd been trying to go previous years, but he just couldn't make it. So he was so pumped to finally make it.
Talk about an amazing human being. Mace is another amazing.
Such a nice guy.
I mean, I've met some assholes in the business, you know, and it's really bothersome when you look up to someone and you meet them and you give them respect and they just are short with you or rude. It's just like it takes so much out of you as an artist because you look up to them, you know. You know, Mace. I saw Mace I want to say like maybe 3 weeks ago at the Bassett Barbecue, and he was still talking about playlists and he was still buzzing off of it. Wow. And he was like, man, I'm still motivated off that shit new. He was just like in my ear and we were laughing. You guys, anybody who's talked to Maceo or heard Maceo or even heard Maceo on a Gorillaz record knows his laugh. That iconic laugh, but he does it really loud in my ear and then I say something else, you know, but anyway, it's, Jeff, he's Professor X, man. He just gets everybody together. You know, I call him Jeffessor X. Yeah, but he's amazing, man. I don't have enough good words to say about Jeff, and if anybody hasn't seen him live, they have to. They're gonna have a good time. And
oh man, his sets are just it's just effortless, isn't it? He's just
it really is. It really is. And you know, ultimately, I'd like to see DJing go down that route. You know, where the captain of the ship takes a chance. You know, and it's really kind of how I approach my sets. I had one situation where I was when the dubstep scene was at its very, very height, and I was playing a festival, and the guy before me was annihilating this crowd, and he was jumping off the speakers on stage and doing all this stuff, and I had to go on after him, and the promoter even looked at me and said, "Man, I'm sorry, New. I think I got the lineup wrong, you know," and that didn't make it better, you know. Way to boost my confidence. So then I was kind of feverishly going through my set and changing things, going, oh shit, this is a different crowd. I'm tripping. So I was kind of going through my stuff and rearranging really quick. And then I stopped about halfway through and I said, fuck it. Okay, if I bomb, I bomb. But it was bigger than that thought. The thought was maybe I'll learn something today, you know?
Yeah.
So I stuck with my original script and it was amazing.
Really?
It was like nothing before me had ever happened. But then I started my set. I was like, okay, here I go. And I started with Earth, Wind, and Fire, which was it was the wrong vibe. I knew it and I played it anyway. And they really got engaged with me. And I was like, what the hell just happened here? So that was a learning lesson that you know, as a DJ, performer, band, drummer, saxophone player, whatever your outfit is, you just got to command the ship and do what you have in your mind, because if you do it with confidence and just command your set, the people will go with you.
They'll go with you, totally. So I want to talk about Zodiac Tracks. Obviously, we're big fans.
Right on. Glad you've seen it.
Of that series, yeah, it's dope. So for people that maybe haven't seen it, just give it a quick kind of elevator pitch to what it is.
Yeah, so Zodiac Tracks was my way of paying homage to artists I respect or were important or are important.
Yeah.
And what I do is in each dedicated month, I play songs from those artists that are all in that Zodiac sign.
Sure.
So, and I release those once a month in their respective Zodiac sign. And they're like 5 to 7 minute mixes that are on my Instagram and Facebook in video format.
Amazing.
So, and there's no cuts or edits. It's just me doing it kind of live. It's not Facebook Live, but it's a live tape.
Yeah. And you've done 2 full seasons, right? So you've done 2.
Yeah, 25 mixes total.
Is there a season 3 plan, or is that?
Oh, what do you guys think,
mate?
Keep going, man.
If you keep making them, we'll keep watching them, man. For
Definitely.
Sure. I think they're dope, and like
I wasn't really sure, because I did two years of it, and I mean I had great response. It's I just I don't know. I wanted to release projects and work on other things, but I might do a 3rd season. Who knows? I haven't really thought that far. I tend to move from thing to thing kind of quickly,
Yeah.
But that one's really special. Actually, on the last mix, I got sad. I was like, man, this is crazy. This is the last one. This is wild.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. It was definitely a lot of work, man. Researching all the birthdays for all the artists was difficult because there's conflicting dates online.
Right, yeah.
And the rarer the artist, the harder it is to find their birthday.
Yeah, totally.
Did you have to go and then find the records, or did you find that you had most of them already?
Man, that's the most crazy thing about Zodiac Tracks was I thought I was going to have a hard time executing the mixes because I had to get through so many artists in such a short amount of time. I ended up doing those in 1 to 3 takes. What was the hard part, what was the curveball for me, was I didn't have the fucking hip-hop records. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud.
Oh, really?
Okay, so I had the samples to the hip-hop records on vinyl. Oh, that's one thing I left out in the description. It's all done on vinyl.
Oh yeah, it's quite an important part.
So in my head, I thought, okay, cool. I have Eric Sermon's React 12-inch, but in actuality, I only had it on MP3.
Yeah.
So there was that weird period, in the 2000s where it's like, you think you have the vinyl because you had it in Serato, but you're kind of phasing vinyl out, not purposely, but just, why do I need the 12-inch,
Yeah, totally.
So I was really rushing to the finish line to find some of the hip-hop 12 inches. And
right.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I think the thing I had the most fun with on Zodiac Tracks is when the producer's a Scorpio, and then the rapper's a Scorpio, and then the guy that they sampled, or the band, the guy that they sampled is a Scorpio. Those were those were the best. That's like a 3 for
you get the triple hit.
Yeah, triple hit, because it's the whole goal of Zodiac was to honor as many artists as possible. If I were to put it in a nutshell, that's really what it is. So it really isn't about like, hey, look how skilled I am or any of that shit. It's like, I'm paying back. I've taken a lot over the years. I've taken from Cold Crush. I've taken from Kool Herc. I've taken from Sugar Hill. Yeah. I want to give back, in my way, in a way that teaches people and hopefully creates some sales for those artists.
Absolutely. What's next for Newmark? Any projects you can tell us about, or any music coming out? Or
I did a song with Method Man to kind of recap the end of the season. I was
going to ask about that and completely forgot. Yeah.
Well, that just came out. That's on my website, djnewmark.com. Coming up, I'm doing the drum packs being released on February on Valentine's Day.
There you go.
And then I'm gonna release an all covers album or EP most likely.
Okay.
I'm about halfway through with it right now. That's going to be called Run for Cover.
Nice.
Then I'll be working pretty hard on a mix that I've been procrastinating on for a long time, an all Middle Eastern mix to kind of pay homage to my heritage. I'm Middle Eastern. My mother's Persian.
Okay.
I've been putting it off because, as you guys know, it's hard to perform in front of your family, right? So it's like you have it has to be just right. So I keep putting burned, and like next thing you know, fucking 15 years go by, and you're like, okay, enough's enough.
Yeah,
like
I need to do it now.
Yeah. So I'll be focusing on that and different collaborations, but a lot of things I kind of can't talk about. Those are the next down the pipeline.
Any trips to the UK planned again, or?
I hope so, man. I don't have a UK agent at the moment. Yeah, I'm agentless out there. So I'm working.
Surely you could put out a few emails,
surely
man.
Somebody.
You're Newmark, for God's sake.
You guys are gonna have to put in a good word for me out there, man. I've been searching for like 2 months now, and I'm kind of striking out. So I'll be playing some shows around the surrounding areas, but I'm trying to find a proper agent or proper time to get out to the UK because I just love it there too damn much.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's a perfect place to leave it. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat to us, man. Really appreciate this.
Yeah,
Pleasure's mine, fellas. You guys have a good night.
We'll hook you up with some good haggis next time
All
we see
right.
you in
And an agent.
Scotland, mate.
Find me a fucking agent, fellas.
For sure, man. We've got your email. We'll drop you some contacts.
All right, now.
Right, you take it. Have a good day, man.
Cheers, man.
All right, cheers.